If you feel stuck on remote versus office, this playbook will simplify it.
We will keep it practical and calm. No hype, no guru language.
Today the decision is remote versus office.
At first, remote versus office can sound simple. Then real life adds pressure, timing, and emotion.
A lot of people stay stuck because the choice looks simple on paper, but messy in real life.
Right. One side sounds safe. The other side sounds exciting. Then fear starts editing the facts.
So first we define the real choice and the constraints around it.
Then we walk through 3 criteria, 2 examples, and 1 short checklist.
People often overthink remote versus office because the trade-offs start to feel personal.
That is why the first question matters. What problem are you really solving?
Good. Now define the decision in 1 sentence. What are you choosing between?
And what makes it hard right now? Time, money, energy, or uncertainty?
For example, are you trying to escape a bad week, or are you making a long-term career move?
That difference matters. A temporary bad month should not always become a permanent decision.
Another useful question is this: what stays painful if nothing changes in the next 3 months?
Because waiting is also a choice. If you wait, the current job keeps charging rent in energy and attention.
So before the framework, write down your constraints clearly.
Income needs, family timing, health, learning goals, and how much uncertainty you can honestly carry.
Once those are visible, the decision becomes less emotional and more concrete.
Not emotionless, just clearer. That is a better place to decide from.
Now let us move into the framework.
Criterion 1. Energy fit. Will this choice improve or drain your week?
Here is my pushback. People often say they value energy fit, then ignore it when pressure rises.
That is true. So test it with 1 concrete question, not a vague feeling.
For example, if you choose the new option, what gets better in a normal week, not only on a perfect week?
Good. And ask what the downside looks like. Every decision carries a trade-off like speed versus confidence.
This is where people get stuck. They want proof that the next move is perfect.
You do not need perfect proof. You need enough evidence that the downside is manageable and the upside is meaningful.
So if this criterion scores weakly, do not ignore that because the title or salary sounds attractive.
Criterion 2. Growth value. Does it build the skills you want next?
Here is my pushback. People often say they value growth value, then ignore it when pressure rises.
That is true. So test it with 1 concrete question, not a vague feeling.
For example, if you choose the new option, what gets better in a normal week, not only on a perfect week?
Good. And ask what the downside looks like. Every decision carries a trade-off like flexibility versus commitment.
This is where people get stuck. They want proof that the next move is perfect.
You do not need perfect proof. You need enough evidence that the downside is manageable and the upside is meaningful.
So if this criterion scores weakly, do not ignore that because the title or salary sounds attractive.
Criterion 3. Risk buffer. Can you handle the downside if this goes badly?
Here is my pushback. People often say they value risk buffer, then ignore it when pressure rises.
That is true. So test it with 1 concrete question, not a vague feeling.
For example, if you choose the new option, what gets better in a normal week, not only on a perfect week?
Good. And ask what the downside looks like. Every decision carries a trade-off like lower cost now versus lower stress later.
This is where people get stuck. They want proof that the next move is perfect.
You do not need perfect proof. You need enough evidence that the downside is manageable and the upside is meaningful.
So if this criterion scores weakly, do not ignore that because the title or salary sounds attractive.
Quick check. Which trade-off matters most today? Speed versus confidence, flexibility versus commitment, or lower cost now versus lower stress later?
If you cannot answer that yet, the problem is probably still too vague.
That is useful information by itself. It means you need better facts before a bigger move.
And now we can test the framework against two short examples.
Example 1.
You still learn a lot and trust the team. In that case, staying longer may be the better move.
What stands out there is that the safer choice is not automatically fear. Sometimes it is good timing.
Yes, staying can be strategic if the role still teaches you, pays the bills, and does not drain you every week.
Example 2.
You feel drained, unclear, and blocked. In that case, prepare a change instead of waiting forever.
That is different because the cost of waiting is now rising.
Exactly. If your energy is dropping, your learning is flat, and you no longer trust the direction, waiting may cost more than moving.
Quick check. What changed between those two examples?
Usually the answer is energy, growth, risk tolerance, or how much flexibility the person still has.
That is the core lesson. Good decisions come from clear constraints, not copied advice.
And advice copied from someone with a different life can become noise very quickly.
So before we finish, let us slow it down and turn this into a checklist.
This is the part you can return to when your thoughts start looping.
Here are 7 short questions you can return to anytime.
Checklist 1. What problem am I solving right now?
Checklist 2. What are the real constraints?
Checklist 3. Which option keeps more flexibility?
Checklist 4. Which trade-off matters most today?
Checklist 5. What happens if I wait?
Checklist 6. What is my fallback plan?
Checklist 7. What is the next clear step?
Write your answers in short sentences. Long explanations often hide unclear thinking.
And if 2 or 3 answers stay weak, that does not mean panic. It means gather facts before acting.
You can also score each checklist item from 1 to 5 if numbers help you think more clearly.
Just do not pretend the numbers are magic. They are there to reveal the trade-off, not replace judgment.
Use the checklist before you decide. It is there to reduce noise, not add more.
If this decision has been sitting quietly in the back of your mind, give it one clear page and one honest answer.
A calm decision is not always a fast decision. Sometimes it is simply a better defined decision.
So the real goal today is not to force a dramatic move. It is to see the decision more clearly than you did before.
Educational content only, not financial or legal advice.
Next episode, credit card, keep or cancel.
In the comments, write the one trade-off that matters most for you.
Short answers are enough. Name the trade-off and the next step you will take.
That is enough for today. Keep the framework, drop the noise, and come back when you need the checklist again.
We will see you in the next playbook.